if the baby was in an environment or a space where they didn't get enough love, where they had emotionally unavailable parents, where they had parents who had their own trauma and so were fighting amongst themselves, going through a divorce, challenging each other, whatever they were doing, then in this space, the baby processes all of that as being something about themselves. I was very physically abused as a child, but I had no way to think that, oh yeah, it's because my mother was going through what she did in her own life that she was projecting it onto me. No. Every time I was hit, I was like, why did I get hit? What did I do wrong? Is it me? Like, why am I so bad? Like, why do I deserve like people treating me like this or any of that stuff? And so I kept internalizing it to mean something was up with me. What did I internalize it to mean? I'm not good enough. I'm not valuable enough, because otherwise why the fuck would my mom want to hit me? She's a grown woman. I need and I want love, and the same person I'm going to for love is rejecting me. Now here's the magic sauce. Your subconscious mind is almost completely developed between the ages of 16 to 18, which means at this point you have all of the idea of who you are locked in your subconscious mind. Now everything after that is basically a reproduction of what you know in different ways. So at this point, you're going to find relationships which unconsciously will reject you the same way that you were used to in your childhood. You will find people who will not accept you the same way that you were not accepted in your childhood. You will find a life and a circumstance which reminds you of what your subconscious finds familiar, because these are the wounds that are the captain driving your ship. So if in your life when you were younger, and you didn't even have to be physically or verbally abused, you could have just been ignored, you could just been invalidated, you could have just had someone, an emotionally incapable parent who never hurt you, never harmed you. I was watching something last night where a parent said, I never hit you, I never beat you, I always provided for everything. And then the boy said, yes, but you were never there. You were never there when I wanted to cry. And that was enough for that boy to feel so emotionally invalidated. And that makes the boy now feel like he's not good enough for his parent to want to show up for him, not knowing that his parent's got his own shit going on. Think about this. Isn't this exactly what your relationships are like? For example, where you are unconsciously wanting your partner to show up for you, but you don't realize that they've got their own wounds going on. And so all that you feel in those moments, all that you feel in that space is rejection. You feel an abandonment. You feel like you're not good enough because they're not giving you that love. And so you recognize in this space that there must be something wrong with me. Like, why am I asking and asking and asking and not getting that love? And it's because your subconscious is looking for all the right answers in all the wrong places. Did you hear that? I'm going to say it again. You're asking for love, and all you're met with is an invalidation, a rejection, and someone not truly being able to show up for you, because you're asking for all the right answers. You're asking for all the right things. But you're asking for it in all the wrong places. You're asking for it with people who aren't capable. Why? Because this is unconsciously what your subconscious mind is used to. So now the next question comes in. Okay, Yats, how the fuck can I change this? You can't change this by just finding a different partner, because here's another thing that the mind will do. It's so incredibly powerful. If you find a secure partner, someone who's capable of giving this to you, but you find them when you believe you're not worthy of them, you know what will happen? You will have something that we call in psychology self-sabotage. Basically, where you unconsciously sabotage your own relationship because you don't believe you're worthy of it. And then you'll go back to your old patterns. So it's not as simple as just saying like, oh, I want to change this, I want to find someone different, I want to close my eyes and manifest. You have to change the belief system that lives in your subconscious mind. If you don't believe me and this work that I do, I love that. Someone was so honest to say, I don't like anyone who's available. I love you for being honest, even though it sounds so difficult, because now you're taking accountability. You're saying, I was there. I literally fell in love with 4 women who are older and had children, and the last one was married and had children. And I still wanted to convince her to choose me over her own life. Why? Just because that would have proved to me that I was valuable and that I was lovable enough. Why? Because inside I didn't believe it. So the truth here is now coming back to your own subconscious mind. If you look at the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's a very famous neuroscientist, and what he does is he studies how the nervous system and your conditioned mind process this trauma and affect your relationships. In any of the work you study in neuroscience, which is around trauma healing therapy, you will find out that your nervous system never forgets. Your mind may forget, but your nervous system never does, because the pain of rejection and invalidation is stitched into your nervous system. So to heal these things that are attracting this rejection, You have to heal the wounds that are attached inside your nervous system. You have to be able to heal the beliefs that are basically locked in there, which happen through conditioning over and over and over, which happen through repetition over and over and over. You have to be able to go back to work on that and the healing of that. Because only when you can get into your subconscious mind and heal your subconscious mind are you able then to change the way you act. Remember what I said, it's like changing the pilot that you had before and putting a new capable pilot who knows now where to go, what you want, who's like flying to the destination you want to go and not flying to the destination that the pilot believes you should go. But to do that, you have to do the healing work. It is very difficult to be able to just say to yourself, I want something different, and have it. It's almost impossible because you have to go into your subconscious. Now the next question is, okay, Yats, what are some of the ways I can go into my subconscious mind and heal them? Reparenting is one of the most powerful processes I've ever come across, which changed my life absolutely. Remember I told you I had, oh sorry, my connection goes in and out. Is anybody else having the same problem where my connection goes in and out? Just send me a text. I just want to see in the comments if it is still going in and out. Let me know. But how do we, what is reparenting about, right? So remember what I said to you, and I said that I had that pattern of attracting those women who are older and unavailable and couldn't show up for me. I was like, okay, fuck this. There's like 5 of those in a row, which took 3 years for myself. And so after that, I had to basically say, if I want to change this, is someone saying yes? I'm not sure what the yes is to. Is it that my connection's going in and out? Just, can you repeat again? Sorry, if you can hear me and process properly. Just let me know that you can process or not process. I'm not sure what the yes is. I apologize. But let me see if I can get better. Trying to scooch closer to my Wi-Fi modem. Maybe that'll help. But at the end of those 4 relationships, I literally had to say to myself, something's got to change, because I can't just say I want a different relationship and I'm getting exactly the same thing. So I had to discover, what is it that's attracting these people? What is it that's attracting this pattern? And I recognized deep down, when I did the childhood healing first, I went all the way back to be able to recognize that it's the little child in me who is still loving and wanting the love of my mother, the same person who rejected me, was still wanting the love and approval of this person so much that I was unconsciously finding people that represented her just so that I could earn my love from them. Because once I earned my love from them, I would finally be lovable, worthy, and valuable. And every time I did that, what was I met with? Was I met with a possible outcome, a good outcome? No, I was met with failure and rejection. So I had to go back to reparent my own inner child and give this inner child the love that they always deserved but never got, to give them the acceptance for who they were but never got, to give them the connection for who they were in their stories but they didn't get. And that was the most powerful thing I've ever done in my life, and you won't believe it. Literally, after going through that process, I locked myself up for months because I knew if I got out into the dating game again, I would go back into the same pool in the same world. So I locked myself up for months, and every day I discovered and learned how to reparent myself. I created meditations, I traveled to India, and I worked with gurus who gave me meditations to go into my subconscious mind. But doing that as a process, when I changed it, I finally started to change how I felt about myself inside. So you know what happened? I didn't have to go out consciously and say, okay, now I don't want this kind of woman, I want this kind of woman. My energy would attract that, because we are energetic beings before we're physical beings. The proof is including in your subconscious. Your subconscious is not actually a physical part of your brain. It's an energetic part of your brain that exists in different parts of how your brain lights up. But it's because you're an energetic being before you're a physical being. So you have to change the energy of what you're drawing in and rejecting, of what you're accepting and seeking and chasing. And when I did that, my life absolutely changed. And that's why, after years of practicing that, of discovering techniques, I can sit here today and say this to you. And the truth is, and I'm going to leave you soon because I have to go to a yummy lunch that's waiting for me. But the truth is this, remember this. You have to do the work to go into your subconscious mind and change what you believe of yourself. Remember I said to you before, you will always attract a world around you that reflects how you feel or see yourself. So you have to do the healing work that can go in and offer your own healing to yourself. When you do that, deep down, by going through reparenting, getting into your subconscious mind and being able to heal those wounds of trauma that are in there. And healing the subconscious mind also involves certain actions and programs in your conscious world, creating discipline, creating structure, showing up for yourself in a way that was never showed up for you before. When you do all of these, you change the energy that's around you to a point that all the stuff that used to reject you, you're like, I don't need this shit anymore. Why? Because I am worthy now. In fact, I don't even need a relationship to validate me. I don't need someone else to make me feel alive or make me feel like I'm important. I can do this for myself now, and I feel so powerful and validated and supported in this that I'm attracting people who support me on the journey. I don't need them to validate me. I just need them to hold space and walk along with me, both of us healing and recognizing our own wounds on this magical journey of life. That is a powerful relationship. The one that you're not dependent on the external, but you allow the external to walk beside you, to support you, to recognize you, but you don't need it to heal you. You don't need it to love you, make you feel like when you get that love that you're alive, but when you don't, you're dead. So what's more important is to work through that process. Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.